Hi, I'm Michelle Loranger. I'm the Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Center of Bristol County. And the Children's Advocacy Center is both a place and a process for children and disabled adults who have been victims of sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, and those who have witnessed violence. And the premise behind the CAC movement is that children don't have to relive the horrific victimization over and over again during the investigative and healing parts of trying to determine what has happened to them. It's a coordinated multidisciplinary team that comes together so that the child only has to say what happened to them one time during the investigative period. And then the team that assembles, that is made up of the child welfare system, law enforcement, the Children's Advocacy Center, staff team of family advocates, a pediatric sexual assault nurse, and other folks who are helping wrap around this child and family on their path to healing, which is a really important part of making sure that they are considered whole emotionally, socially, and physically.
Can you tell us a little bit about this room that you're in right now?
This is the room where we interview the younger aged children. They come and sit in here with a highly trained special child forensic interviewer who is trained in a neutral fact-finding line of questioning to make sure that the process is legally sound and to make sure that we ask a series of non-leading questions so that children can narrate what has happened to them and what has had them present to the center.
And can you talk about what happens down the hall where the video feed is?
While the child is sitting in this room with the forensic interviewer and only talking to the specially trained child forensic interviewer, the team that makes up both the investigative and the treatment thereafter is sitting in a conference room and watches the interview through closed circuit technology so that everyone with investigative and treatment responsibilities can have access to the information that is needed to conduct their work with the child and or to determine what the next steps are in the investigative process.
It is nothing that you
and the center also trains law enforcement and other people, is that right?
Yeah, so the Children's Advocacy Center has both what I call a reactive service, which is for kids who have been victims or alleged victims of abuse, and it's the sound process here that determines what is happening with the outcomes of that investigative process. But we also have what I call a macro service delivery to address the 123% increase that we have seen in cases since our inception in 2007. We are doing lots of training with law enforcement. We'll train on recognizing and responding signs and symptoms, and we have a whole series of trainings for those involved in the investigative pieces, but also for those involved in youth-serving organizations so that they understand the signs and symptoms, they understand the mandates around mandated reporting, and they understand how to properly respond to this, and that they're learning prevention and intervention as well.
Thank you.